G'day everyone, Jason Haines here once again, QPL Rural, with another look around the Riverina at rural property over the last week. Well, this morning I've been very fortunate to spend some time at the Flanagan farm down at Finley there. It's a well-known dairy farm for the area, and they had an open day on there, and it was really great to see how far dairying's come in the last few years since I've been out of the industry, but certainly where it's going to in the future, and really just why there is such a good positive story to be told about dairy in the Riverina and why it's got such a strong future. Now, here's an operation that's converted over the last few years from a grazing operation to a feedlot operation. It reminds me in a lot of ways of the journey that the vendors of Tickawara have had. So look, let me throw some production numbers at you and get you thinking, and really why dairying in the Riverina works and why it is still a very good investment. So water's been an issue the last number of years within the irrigation operation, and here's the way that Flanagan's are dealing with it. So they're aiming to have 2 full years worth of forage in front of themselves. They predominantly run a cereal and maize production system, and they aim to get it right every time and cut for quality, always looking for quality, particularly in those cereal crops. They're cutting those crops twice on a cereal crop, one really in the winter time and then in the early spring, and cutting for quality with the head in the boot. And they're taking about 10 tonne of dry matter per hectare off that cereal crop, and they're backing it up with another 20 odd tonne per hectare off their corn crop in that summer growing period. So what does this mean? This means they've produced approximately 6 tonne of dry matter, high quality dry matter, for every megalitre of water they've used in that system for the season. So very efficient system, very efficient water conversion, and really building that buffer of high quality feed that you've got in storage there, so you can really push back against if water prices go up or milk prices drop or any of those other shocks to the system. There you've got a buffer built into the system where you can absorb those shocks within the business. Now, on top of this, there's some other great advances in technology that they're using here. Motion sensors on cattle that pick up heats. Example was there that they used to pick up about 5 heats of the day, but actually since they put the motion sensors on, it had 13 heats per day in the breeding season. So really picking up those cows that are in heat, ready for AI, sex semen, a TMR controller, so you get that ration consistent right the way through, and even things like automated irrigation systems. And we're there today, and there's a robot running around pushing feed up, so getting that fresh feed pushed up in front of cows all the time. So simple things, relatively small investments on a farm style of things, but makes them very efficient at producing really good product and getting a really good outcome out of those production systems. So as I said, Tickawara is not all that different. Good operation there, good feed pad already there, built for 800 cow operation. Got collars, feed systems already in place, and that buffer, that feed buffer there, that really does help against shocks to the system. This is why it's a great system. By having that buffer, how many other businesses do you know there that can keep the wheels turning, can keep production up, can keep all those things going, even if we go through a drought period or a period there where feed prices or commodity prices are high? They can use that, draw down on that buffer, and really keep the wheel turning and keep the profit coming in. In a lot of ways, the predictability of outcome on these businesses is a lot better than an annual cropping enterprise, which is what makes them such good investments. So as I said to you before, Tickawara is a great standalone investment. We do have a management team there that can step into place and run these properties for you if you want them as a standalone investment. I do encourage you to have a look at these. We've got a week to run on the expressions of interest. This is a real positive cash flow property that can present real returns. As I said, I do believe the Riverina has a big place to play in the dairy industry going forward, and I think you're going to see more and more of these operations. Thank you very much to the Flanagan family for their sneak peek there. It's a very well run operation. I can't wait to see what the next chapter brings. Now, as always, if you'd like any more information on Tickawara or anything else here today, please feel free to give me a call on 0488 594 450. Look forward to catching up with you all again next week. Cheers.